Greetings, salutations. How goes it, gang? Welcome to another edition of Thought That Was Weird. I am Thrash K-Shoe, and along with me, as always, rocking some, oh god, what was this called? Jedi Starfighter? I've never seen this game before.
Yes. I don't feel like I'm in control of it at all right now. I don't know what's... But Jedi Starfighter...
and spinning...
Oh, whoa.
And spinning through the midst of space right now is our dear friend Kuya DK. And yeah, he's flipping out like Vader after the Death Star blew up, but now he seems to be back on track and shooting something. Today, and it's not, and it's because I just kind of pulled this one out of my butt, but it's kind of it's a real quick topic. I don't know the thing is that I don't know too much about it, but I think it's considering our personal enjoyment of like certain types of things, like things that make us transcend time and space, so to speak.
Oh, sure.
Yes, I would care to discuss this this weird, and again, you know me and my cults, I gotta have them. This weird cult called Kentelmote. Are you familiar with this at all?
No. I didn't quite catch the name, but it didn't sound like anything I know about.
Can't Tell Mo is it was started by this dude named Chris Can't Tell Mo. Very, very interesting stuff. Like, the dude believes that he was able to cure his brain cancer with DMT.
Oh, I think we may have mentioned. I think we may have mentioned this.
Yeah, I think we talked about it once before, like for a brief second once before.
Some man started a cult.
some guy started a cult.
I have no idea what I'm doing. So goodbye. That's it for Star Wars Jedi. I have no idea what the fuck was going on.
What in the? I didn't mean to. I was gonna interrupt and say, where the fuck are you going to?
I have no fuck. I don't even know what I was. It's very possible there were like someone was speaking to me, but like if there's no text on this, I mean, come on. It's not 2000 and whatever the fuck. I don't know why that is relevant at all. I smoked a lot today, so
it's all good, man.
Welcome to Thought That Was Weird.
Indeed, where you have two guys that are gonna say what a lot, and what were we talking about a lot?
What were we talking about? The man's name.
Oh,
is the name of the cult?
Yes, Chris Kentelma. Quick shout out to Parallel Pipes for their deep dive video on what is it, bottom of rabbit holes. From what I understood, and as it was explained, this man tried to build a cult around DMT. He himself claimed to have been, and then mind you, this is before I go into reading on the research and stuff like that, because again, generally we research this before we start talking about it, but we're doing it live. Fucking thing sucks. Fuck Bill O'Reilly. Anyway, so this dude Chris Cantelmo he believed he had a brain tumor, I believe it was, and he believed that he had cured his brain, and it was malignant, and he believed that he had cured his brain cancer by dosing DMT. And he was so fervent about his belief that DMT could like save the world, and it basically gets us in tune with all these different frequencies from different dimensions, sort of a thing, like the usual things you would hear from somebody on DMT.
Right, yeah, it sounds a lot like someone. Yeah, what you're saying sounds a lot like somebody on DMT.
It's like somebody went on a nice little braincation and then decided to make a braincation home there and just stay. And I think that's what happened to this poor man, is that he just got super delusional. This dude just, like, absolutely lost his mind and try to start this cult, basically saying that DMT was going to save the world, and
It's
he
the
that
truth.
and that he had saw God, and he's
Have they? Is
Mhm.
that the God molecule? Like, is that something that people say?
Yes, they say that's the spirit molecule. That it's like
The serum. Okay,
yeah
I'm sort of thinking about the Higgs boson as well.
yeah the very essence of like man sort of thing. You
Yeah, a
know,
consciousness.
consciousness.
Are
Yeah,
all of our thoughts just DMT?
all of our all of our thoughts are just DMT. Yes, man. Man, you're freaking me out, man. All of that's all
I
that's
think we
filtered
have.
through
It's like
us.
in our brains right now, right?
So, Quintelmo, and again, quoting from the Vice News article, Quintelmo had been a wealthy biochemist and Yale grad. He had gained notoriety on Reddit because he was spending thousands there, indiscriminately uh, gilding posts and comments by gifting awards.
Oh, weird. Okay.
S- He basically blew most of his money trying to con people on Reddit um,
Oh.
into joining his religion, his DMT based religion. Oh, so Contelmoism. So I'm on the website right now, and like it looks like it was designed by somebody who took DMT.
Well, does that surprise you?
Well, I would just find it. I would assume it would be really difficult to
Sign a website.
website on DMT, and this is. But I mean, it's like an organized, like functioning DMT user made this website. Um,
Yeah, that's gotta take talent. That can't be easy to do. Making
so
websites on DMT.
of course, citing
We should have like a race. Maybe not. Nobody listen to this. Where we smoke DMT and we have to make a website. And whoever makes the best website after, whatever, half an hour.
I do not confirm or deny that I
Right.
will enjoy
This is
this.
not this is a fictional competition that we definitely are
Totally
not
would,
going
would know that we will never ever do in real life because drugs are bad.
because where would I even fucking start building a website in
Where am I gonna
2010?
find
A
DMT?
URL website? Like am I supposed to get Microsoft front page or whatever? I don't
I,
even know what I would fucking do.
I've never made a website in my entire fucking life. So I'm going to be citing from Kintelmoism.com
Great.
from this
Oh,
point.
fuck.
So this is a message from the other side. Those of
Oh
you
boy.
who most need this message might not see it for what it is. As is always the case, don't worry about a thing. You got this. Trust your instincts. Go further. You will be so fantastically amazed at everything you ever redreamed. I'm sorry. I'm reading this as is. They wrote ever redreamed. You will be so fantastically amazed that everything you ever redreamed is a pale comparison to what actually is to be. Go for it. The discoveries of Chris Cantelmo. There is a God. God emits a cosmic broadcast of electromagnetic waves. Humans
All
and
right.
all other living creatures with a nervous system can receive information from God's cosmic broadcast, while their neural network is enabled by DMT and di. Oh, what is this? I'm gonna get this wrong. Di
Is this what DMT is
dimethyltryptamine.
called?
Yeah,
Or would it
dimethyltryptamine.
really?
Something
I
I
don't.
can't
Yeah, I'm
pronounce it.
surprised I don't know.
Um, yeah, dimtritryptamine, dimethyltryptamine, dimethyltryptamine. I can't even pronounce that. So basically, God is emitting electromagnetic waves, and we are just radio receivers for God's electromagnetic waves. But we're not tuned into the right frequency unless we take DMT.
Okay.
As far as I'm
I'm in.
understanding
Sounds
here,
sounds sounds legit to me.
it sounds totally fathomable. I'm right there.
Show me, yeah.
Show me the
Show me
DMT.
God.
Show
Pass
the
the pipe and point me in the direction of God. I got some words. We're gonna have a talk.
Give me a pile of kittens that climb on top of me, and while I trip balls, and I will be
Oh
comfortable.
boy.
Oh, but instinctual behavior in animals results from the behavioral instructions delivered to each organism via the cosmic broadcast. Imagine that each species has its own decryption key, so it interprets the cosmic data set according to its own specific behavioral needs. So God is streaming individual personalities between human beings and animals, and the behaviors of said things. Like God is basically puppeteering
Yeah.
everything with these cosmic broadcasts.
I heard that the stars are projectors, projecting our lives down to this planet Earth. You like Modest Mouse?
I do like Modest Mouse.
Oh boy, I love Modest Mouse.
Modest Mouse is some good stuff. That was most of high school for me.
Yeah.
Number 5, aliens are now present on Earth, and this part I did not realize was part of the.
Okay, this is now we're
Now
getting
we're
somewhere.
now
Okay,
we're getting
God,
into
yeah,
stuff.
that sounds about right. Now aliens, good. Okay.
Now and then just all of a sudden, aliens. With the Slim Jim guy.
Yeah.
I forget that scientist's name, but he's fucking great. I love that dude. Aliens are now present on Earth and hyperactive in an effort to save the Earth from
That
environmental
scientist's
disaster.
name was Macho Man Randy Savage, of course.
I want to believe. Aliens are now present on Earth, hyperactive in an effort to save the Earth from environmental disaster. The aliens have recognized Chris Cantelmo as the only human well versed enough to speak to the hearts and minds of every type of human.
Of course. Obviously.
Aliens have demanded Chris to deliver the aliens' message. Stop polluting and warmongering and overpopulating, or we will unleash an unstoppable plague and lethal worldwide epidemic.
Uh-oh. When was this predicted?
You know what? When did this article come out?
I was about to say I'd like
Chris,
to hear about
Chris,
Cantelmo's credentials, but
shit.
it sounds like this may have occurred.
When did Chris Cantelmo die? So, holy crap. So, and mind you, this is according to. I'm not gonna take that with a. I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt. But a Reddit post that I just found said that apparently, according to the police report, he had Chris Cantelmo had killed himself by slitting his own throat in the middle of a forest.
Jesus.
Yeah, and so
Jesus.
and
Ah.
yeah, this was November 27th, 2019, and
Fuck.
and I
Oh no.
I oh man, that's so wild. So, but I mean, like,
What else?
let's face
A
it, we've been
worldwide
dealing
plague and what else?
a worldwide epidemic. He was specific in saying
Okay.
an epidemic. um, but again, I don't know if they changed this recently. But that, I mean, if I was tripping balls and I read that, I'd be like, you know what? I think I need to start making donations or some shit. Like, if I was like far gone, but like
That's what's
it
funny is
is
that the target audience is people who are tripping balls. Like so
absolutely.
wow, so smart, very smart. Yeah, good tactics.
I know, just like, oh man, he predicted, COVID. Oh man. But at the same time, again, I don't know when they've changed some of this shit. So, I don't know.
Sure,
I'm not
sure.
I'm not cool enough to
And we're
also.
not the evening news here. We don't even.
No, I'm
I don't
just
even claim. I not only do I not claim. I don't even know whether or not what I'm saying is true.
you know what? As far as I'm
I haven't even
concerned,
fact checked myself. Most of the stuff I'm saying, actually, when I go back and listen to myself,
mhm.
it's amazing how much incorrect stuff I say without even noticing it.
Mm, I mean, so do I. So, like, yeah, I'm right there with you. It happens. It's whatever. But again, like, we could be wrong too. Maybe it's very likely there's some electromagnetic being emitting little waves to people and animals, and you would think that if God cared, if this omnipotent being of quote unquote God cared enough to insert themselves in the behavior of animals and humans, that God would like change all of their shit at once and be like, hey, all of you stop doing that, what's destroying the planet, and do the opposite or
Yeah,
something.
are we cut off from his cosmic signal because we're not on DMT?
I believe that might be the case though. I think that's what it is that yeah, that is very true. That is very, very true. All right, number 6. Einstein's energy equation needs to be updated. I've what? It-
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Tell me about it.
okay, so literally this like sixth commandment that's on, or not commandment, excuse me. I don't. These are discoveries of Chris Cantelmo. Excuse me. So he believes that Einstein's theory of relativity needs to be updated to E equals 4 over 3 in parentheses pi MC3. I have no idea. The second law of and this is discovery number 7. The law of thermodynamics is wrong. The
Of course it
universe
is.
the universe is getting increasingly organized and energetic, and its end
Yeah,
state.
fuck, fuck the second law of thermodynamics. I spit upon the second law of thermodynamics.
I mean, the guy was a biochemist or something like that. What was it? He was it was shit. Yeah, he was like a Yale scientist. So I could understand him like having at least a base concept of some of this stuff, like if not like more than a base concept on some of this stuff. But it's like you're going to completely counteract like the basic rules of science and laws of science without any real basis other than you took some DMT. Um, well, let's say so. So here's the explanation for why the second law of thermodynamics is wrong. The universe is getting increasingly organized and energetic, and its state is already determined as a super complex wonder world. What the fuck does that mean? It's getting organized and energetic, and its end state is already determined as a super complex wonder world.
A super complex what?
Wonder world, like what you would call a
I
theme
love
park.
it.
What
Oh,
you would call a theme park,
yeah,
a
yeah,
wonder
yeah,
world.
like a fucking like Disneyland or some shit.
And this is where like the tripped out mind would be like, is he implying that like at the end of the day like we're in this like simulation wonder world? It's like Westworld.
It always a lot of this shit comes back
Yeah,
to, oh, I guess we're just in a simulation.
I know.
It's the easiest bottom line. It's the easiest answer to like any
Yeah.
fucking. The signals from God are, lost code in the fucking machine or whatever from the.
So there's 28 discoveries that he had made
All right.
total. So free will and this is number 8. Free will in humans is an illusion, and the end state of every living thing follows suit. Okay, so kind of going back to his belief that like God,
Determinate. It's all been determined.
it's determined by
The
this
universe
God
works
being.
on a math equation.
The consequence of this fact is anxiety should what some I feel like I'm having a stroke or something. The consequence of this fact is anxiety should evaporate since our individual actions are irrelevant to the final outcome at all times.
Okay. It means you shouldn't worry about it because there's absolutely nothing you can do. You've already made the choices you'll make tomorrow.
Because is it okay?
You
I don't know why
always
I don't know
will.
why I
It's
misread
determined.
I misread it. Yeah, of this fact is quote unquote anxiety. Should
Yes.
evaporate. Yes, okay, should evaporate. Individual actions are relevant to the final outcome at all times. People should do the most enjoyable thing at every waking moment. I am all for that.
That sounds all right.
I want to be like the guy from fucking Spinal Tap. Have a great time all the time. That's my philosophy. I love that dude. Number 9. The nervous system of all living creatures is both a computer information processing system and an antenna which both broadcasts and receives electromagnetic waves in exactly the same way as a PC or a Mac contains a CPU and a Wi-Fi circuit. DMT enables the Wi-Fi and increases the clock speed of the bio-CPU by quantum orders of magnitude above quote-unquote default mode of
Well, I'll
normal
tell you
adult
what, I'm
brain
going out and
function.
buying some DMT.
D-
Sold.
motherfucker, we like.
I'm
Here's an
sorry, I
argument.
keep it. It's very
It,
fun. I mean, that's. I don't even know what to say about what you just said.
um,
It updates your bio Wi-Fi. Did you say something like that?
DMT enables the bio Wi-Fi, basically. It's the bio Wi-Fi circuit in your body, and quote unquote increases the clock speed of the bio CPU by quantum orders of magnitude above default mode of normal human brain function.
Wow.
It's pretty intense sounding.
Yeah. I overclock my bio chip, please.
What is this? Number 10. There is a DMT cycle in mammals in which DMT and sex hormones are inversely proportioned. The higher the level of sex hormones, the lesser the quantity of DMT produced by the pineal gland in the brain. Okay. DMT production is stopped altogether in humans at puberty and reinitiated in late adulthood. The higher level of sex hormones, the lesser the quantity of DMT produced by the pineal gland
Level
in
of
the brain.
sex hormones?
The higher level of sex hormones, the
How
lesser
do you get rid
quantity.
of them? Just by age?
I'm assuming that's what he's implying is that like the older you
Okay.
get, the less sexually fervous you are. So it's like I'm basically
Sexually furious?
like or
Sorry, no.
fervorous. I don't know. I don't know what the words are. DMT production is stopped altogether in humans at puberty and reinitiated in late adulthood. So I think he is implying that like like later aged adults are more susceptible to the understanding of this like God figure solely because of the fact that the DMT in their bodies is increasing, or at least is what I'm understanding. I think he's also implying this sort of and again, this is all implicate from my understanding of what's being written here. This is interpreting the Bible here, so it's not going to be 100% correct. And I apologize to the other Kentelmoists. Uh, but it just sounds like some like Heaven's Gate type
Sure.
um
Yeah, 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 yeah.
um desexualization of the of humans.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that was a big part of
ooh,
the Heaven's Gate thing, huh?
oh yeah. And actually that was only because the leader was gay and he had a real hard time coming to terms with it. Very fascinating
So no one's allowed to
stuff.
fuck is the result.
Well, he basically said that you should like the Heaven's Gate thing's like a whole nother thing, but like the basis of the Heaven's Gate thing was like you relinquish yourself of earthly possessions because soon the spaceship's gonna come, and
Sure.
if you're not if we want to play it cool while we're in space. So like, if we can't play, in order to play it cool in space, like, you can't just be, this sex, this sex crazed, human being. You can't have all these, wants and needs that humans generally have. You got to play it cool with the aliens, otherwise, they're gonna kick us off off the spaceship or something. Um,
Right.
so he was like, but the reality was is that um, the leader himself had some real hard difficulties with sexuality himself, and kind of, in a sense, projected. Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
but so now reading number 11, this is kind of pushing some very interesting concepts that kind of go with what we were just talking about with, like, the later stage adulthood, creates more DMT, and thus, like, has some sort of, better understanding or better quote unquote connection to God. So number 11, the mental health syndromes called schizophrenia and autism are one and the same and result from a relative overabundance of bioavailable DMT.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So he's basically implying that the overproduction of DMT in brains causes, or does not cause, is actually schizophrenia and autism. From here, these syndromes can be unified as autophrenia. He actually coined a new psychological disorder where
That's.
he combined schizophrenia and
I
autism.
really want to know what his credentials are.
I
He must have some certification to be making these
and
claims.
he has a degree in molecular biophysics and biochemistry. So he has an idea of what he's talking about. He's just fucking lost his fucking mind. It goes on to say about autophrenia or autophrenia. Autophrenias or autophrenics are geniuses and were created by God to be the leaders of humanity, and lesser quote unquote normal adults were and excuse me and lesser quote unquote adults were too stupid to see this in modern times. In ancient times, autophrenics were rulers. I mean, that's more than likely. Well, with the fact that in ancient times, out of that there were probably some autistic and schizophrenic rulers. Uh,
Seems likely.
is more than likely. Um, let alone had a myriad of other psychological disorders. To quote the show "Serial Killers" by Parcast, I'm not a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist, but
Yeah.
I have enjoyed doing some research on these topics on occasion, and I know one or two things. Just, you know, forewarning. Um,
And those are your credentials.
my credentials are I read too much stupid shit, um, for my own good. Like autism and schizophrenia are like
Probably not
complete
the same thing in your opinion, in your
nowhere.
medical opinion.
No,
Mhm. Yeah.
no. I mean they do. There are a lot of there are a handful of shared
Symptoms.
things, symptoms, a handful of shared symptoms, but it's not like, you could sit there and say, oh yeah, that they're the same thing, because like, you also have to consider that there are audible and well, it's not in every case of schizophrenia, but there are hallucinations in some manners,
Sure.
some
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
delusions within that. But you don't generally see that within the autism community. I don't know if you were right to put them on the into one grouped thing, but I guarantee you there's probably something on level with, people who have both disorders at the same time. But I'm not gonna say it's like that SAT test question. It's like, uh, some people with autism have schizophrenia, some people with schizophrenia have autism, but not all people with autism and schizophrenia are autophrenias or autophrenics, excuse me, whatever the hell that Kintelmo just came up with. Um, like what the fuck? This is really fascinating. I'm learning a lot of really cool, interesting things. but also like you're making the connections that don't necessarily like go together. It's like trying to put a three-prong like male cord into a two-prong outlet.
Yes.
Number 12. We're not even done yet. This gets worse. Shakespeare, Galileo, Da Vinci, and all historical geniuses, and probably Jesus himself, were autophrenics.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, Jesus was an autophrenic.
So what else did this guy discover about God and DMT? I'm
well, well,
I mean, did
actually,
anyone get hurt from all of this? Because it
so
sounds like basically just said a bunch of insane stuff.
so from what I understand, it just sounds like this guy came up with a bunch of really weird shit, and nobody ended up hurting themselves. Nobody really bought into it.
Yeah, it almost sounds like, yeah, one of those that like nothing really even came of it. So,
Let's see here. Oh, number 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 13.
oh
Uh,
boy.
so anyway, number 13. Moses was either autophrenic or
Oh
inhaled
boy.
DMT released by a burning acacia bush and saw
Yeah,
spirits and received God's message.
that
What
sounds right.
do acacia bushes burn off DMT?
I don't know where DMT comes from.
According to Wikipedia.org, list of acacia species known to contain psychoactive alkaloids. That's a thing. Acacia is known to contain psychoactive alkaloids. Ether extracts about 2.6% of the dried leaf mass. Not known if psychoactive per se. Claims of DMT in the plant have been referenced to works that do not support the claim. For one last time, just to double check. Can you make DMT out of acacia trees? Obtained from Snapchat. Okay, so now I am hitting up this Psychonaut wiki. This guide is provided for informational and educational purposes only. We do not encourage you to break the law and cannot claim any responsibility for your actions. The Psychonaut wiki. This would probably be important. So background. So if anything, I would assume that the stoners would probably know a little bit better than general people. The root bark of the Acacia confusa tree has been shown to contain up to 1.15% DMT. That is like
Not very much.
not worth it. Um,
Uh-huh.
if the steps of this extraction are followed precisely, on 500 grams of acacia bark yield 5.75 grams of DMT can be expected. The fuck would you do with it? Like, so you're gonna get half a key of acacia wood, break it down with I think I saw somewhere they said that they were using sodium hydroxide lye and
Oh boy. Okay.
naphthalene
Sure.
to to break this stuff down. Uh, Fucking weird. Again, you know, fun little deep dives. This is some wild shit. So, Lord Kentelma, what else did you
Lord can't tell me.
what else are you going to teach us today? Lord
What
Kant.
else? Yeah, any further discoveries?
Oh, we still got like another 13 discoveries, and
Holy shit.
we just went on this little sidetrack because of the fact that we didn't know if you could extract DMT from acacia trees. um, yeah. So he believes that like basically all the ancient religious figures use DMT extracted from acacia trees. Um, so number 14. Our modern industrialized world, particularly fluoridization of our water supplies and being told not to stare at the sun, has resulted in calcification of our pineal glands and an interruption of the natural DMT cycle.
Are we supposed to stare at the sun?
I want to reread this because I think
I mean, I'm not recommending that to anybody.
no, I have
Just
certainly not.
let me put that
Absolutely
there.
not. Absolutely not. No. But what the fuck is this? And okay, our modern industrialized world, particularly the fluoridization of our water supplies and being told not to stare at the sun. This is yep, to being told not to stare at the
That
sun
is suspicious.
has resulted in calcification of our pineal glands and an interruption of our DMT natural cycles. Staring at the sun and drinking deionized pure water rejuvenates pineal function. Where to begin? Staring at the sun to revitalize yourself.
You think he was like? Do you think he was going out in the woods and staring at the sun?
I can only assume. Like, well, he was from California, but like, I assume
All right, yeah,
he
so,
probably went
okay,
to a beach when he did that. But like,
yeah.
yeah, he would go to It would seem he would go to those places and stare at the sun. Fascinating. Um, let's see. Number 15. Adding DMT to an adult brain via orally active ayahuasca or by vaping DMT crystals allows people to see the spirits which are always around us but otherwise invisible, including a multitude of guardian angels voluntarily assigned to each of us. So, we all have fairy godparents.
Yep, that's about it. Yep, that's yeah.
Timmy Turner was smoking DMT the entire time and we had no idea. Number 16. A near-death experience occurs when CO2 levels in the brain get so high that the pineal gland releases what it believes to be the final dose of DMT into the brain, which is meant to enable our souls to be delivered back to God. Okay, this is why almost all near-death experiences people report seeing angels and aliens. Well,
All right.
he's basically saying that because you turned on the Wi-Fi router in your brain, you can now you turned on the
Route
black.
Wi-Fi.
I was gonna actually I was gonna use an even older reference because you turn on the black box on your TV, you can now get all the fuzzy
Okay,
porn
yeah, yeah,
channels.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
can get all,
sure.
but you can get all the fuzzy porn channels clear, but they're not fuzzy porn, but they're not clear porn channels. They're all
They're the
700
scrambled
club.
ones from the '90s.
But instead, it's just like Jerry Falwell, like
Oh
fucking
God,
preaching
that's
instead.
worse.
Yeah,
That's not fun at all.
that does not seem like it would be fun. So why he would ruin you know I don't know. It's like taking away the actual fun of DMT into all this. Um,
By bringing Jerry Falwell into it in
yeah,
1995.
in
Oh,
1995, fuzzy porn, yes. Um, Number 17, nitrogen narcosis in scuba divers and anyone who breathes compressed air results from DMT being released into CO2 or enriched oxygen-starved brains. So
okay.
you can yeah
Drown yourself to get closer to God. Is that?
yeah it's not
That might
necessarily
not
saying that.
exactly be what nitrogen narcosis is. No,
Well,
but or
let's
I mean, I'm not exactly sure what that is actually.
so
I've heard the term before. It's something that happens to divers.
nitrogen narcosis is a change in consciousness, neuromuscular function, and behavior brought on by breathing compressed inert gases. It has also been called depth intoxication. So, like
Depth intoxication.
depth intoxication.
I like those words next to each other.
That's gonna be that's the new death metal band. Depth intoxication. So so basically, in a sense, he is saying, go to a extremely pressurized area of the ocean and drown yourself because you'll become close to God because of all the DMT
Oh
release.
boy, don't do that, anyone.
Nobody do that. Nobody, please do that. Number 19, DMT has allowed Chris Cantoma to unify the four fundamental forces in physics into one force: electromagnetism. The weaker nuclear force, the stronger nuclear force, and gravity are all manifestations of EM over distance. The only reason the notion of multiple forces originated is because gravity and its effects was clearly understood by everyone. When electricity was discovered later, it was assumed to be a separate force. A look at the force equations for electromagnetism and gravitation shows that they are identical. Electromagnetism and gravity are practically the same thing within this concept.
Well, I mean, again, he's the molecular physical biology degree holder.
But he also just said that he, through tripping on DMT, was able to unify the four fundamental forces of physics into one force.
Did he cure his own brain cancer? Or not?
DMT cures the cancer of atheism.
What? Is that the kind of cancer he had?
No, oh my gosh.
That's an interesting thing to say.
Okay, so this is another portion of the website.
Okay.
And it's a video. And a video where it's like it's dated February 14, 2020. So somebody's still posting to this site past his death.
Okay.
But basically, it states in this like video title, DMT cures the cancer of atheism.
Wow.
A lot of people telling Chris Cantomo that DMT doesn't cure cancer.
Well, that's a very reasonable thing to say.
Okay. Number 18 of the discoveries by Chris Cantomo. The euphoria delivered by laughing gas, nitrous oxide at the dentist, or by doing whippets is created by the release of DMT by the brain. If you want to do DMT but do not have access to the chemical, just inhale nitrous oxide and you will get the sense of DMT experience.
Wow, that shit's everywhere.
What the fuck? Where is this guy getting all this DMT? Like,
looking at the sun all day.
Like, he's fucking breaking down acacia. He's got an acacia forest in his
acacia bushes.
Well, he's soaking them in lye.
Oh right, yes, yeah. Staring at the sun, do his suck it out whipped cream.
Oh man. Number 20. There is no such thing as gravity waves, and the LIGO detectors detect tectonic plate movements, not gravitation. Kip Thorne, Nobel Prize winner for his LIGO project, is an uber genius, but was led astray by the notion that gravity is a separate force.
Okay.
Interesting. Number 21. Modern medicine and vaccines only make our immune systems weaker. Okay, this is where that's stupid. Okay, and are the source of all human suffering.
Vaccines.
He might as well have said it. Fucking doofus. God gave us all the immunity we need, and medical intervention should only be undertaken in life-threatening emergencies. Vaccines are the problem, not the solution. Okay, you know what? I didn't get to the end of the sentence before you called it. So, number 22, a direct experience of God is vital and essential. All religions are formed after a charismatic human has God revealed through an experience with DMT. Religions fail by claiming exclusivity of the divine. Religion is a source of evil as certain as it is a force for enlightenment.
Okay.
I mean, that's not
right.
wrong.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm perfectly accepting of that concept. Yeah, this is very true.
Yeah, this guy's getting a lot of passes, a lot more passes than a lot of people do from us.
Usually, yeah. I mean, what?
Because it doesn't seem like anyone really well, I mean, other than himself.
I think he's definitely probably one of the only people that actually.
He was the primary victim of this, if you would even attempted cult.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't even think he actually like did anything with it.
Yeah.
Like I mean, he did plenty with it. So like, And one of the things that we didn't really get into quite yet was the fact that I did mention that he basically like bought out like all these Reddit awards to convince people to join his religion.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so weird.
yeah, he basically bought thousands of dollars with his own money, um, to give people Reddit awards so he can convince them that that he had the right religion and stuff. And
DMT.
he thought that through DMT and Reddit awards we can find God.
DMT and Reddit rewards. Yes. That's truly the path to godhood.
Yep. So number 23, money is the ultimate source of evil and results from greed. Money allows people the luxury of treating others poorly. When money is eliminated, peace will be restored to Earth.
Yep. There you go, DMT man. There you have it.
It's very fascinating, and I find particularly interesting. Yeah, just a lot of the other stuff, just pure not like it's very research nonsense, but it's nonsense,
Yeah.
Like, man, like the whole electromagnetic thing definitely threw me for a loop.
This guy was a scientist. This guy knew,
Quote
yeah.
unquote.
This guy had one big degree at least and knew a lot of stuff about atomic what kind of chemical biology? Did you?
Yeah.
Also, I've asked you many times.
Oh no, not a problem. No. Okay, so number 24. Darwin's natural selection occurs at the species group level, not the individuality level. Or not the individual level, excuse me. And this explains altruism. Heretofore a mystery to evolutionary biologists and psychiatrists.
Being nice to each other is a mystery?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I can kind of understand that. Group level, not the individuality level. That explains the altruism. I've never heard, like, I feel like I say stupid, like, fancy phrases all the time, like therefore and things like that. But heretofore, what the fuck is heretofore? Heretofore.
That's like, in the second Matrix movie when he goes and talks to the architect.
Vaguely.
And the architect is all like, therefore, quid pro quo, ergo, QED. Just going on and on with hitherto for.
Like, fuck. Yeah, I don't understand. Selflessness and also watching out for your ass is not on the basis of the individual, but on a societal grand scheme of things, and is really like our need to help each other and our need to say fuck you to each other is still a biological mystery, according to Chris Cantel.
DMT wants us to be nice to each other.
DMT wants us to be nice to each other and hang out with aliens and meet God, but like, humanity.
But we're not doing it.
We're not there yet.
What assholes!
I know, because it's just like with the Church of the Subgenius, man. They're taking all the slack, and we're realizing now that the slack is actually DMT.
Yes.
But 26 or 25, excuse me. Freud.
Oh, God, okay.
Oh yeah, we're almost there. We got 3 more left.
We're cooking. All right, left. This is awesome.
Freud and Jung were well-meaning but wrong. The subconscious does not exist. Dreams foreshadow future events, and when that future event happens, we feel a deja vu. So dreams are real, and it predicts the future, and that's why we feel the general sense of deja vu when we find things that happen in our dreams occurring. That's
all right. I'll take it.
That's interesting shit. I don't know if that's true. Then I'm like I'm running some sort of shady shit in the future, like in some really fancy bar, which would be kind of cool. But I will say that this is like this stuff that Kentelmo is dishing is well beyond
Wacky.
wacky.
Well beyond wacky. Ah, cock my ass. Fuck my.
Number 26. When matter is created by condensing light waves into particles, matter stays with us into the present, and antimatter recedes into the past. Okay. Matter
Okay.
and matter and antimatter are reunited at the end of the universe.
Whoa, really? I'd love to know the justification. I can't wait to reunite with my antimatter at the end of the universe.
Because I mean, that's going to eventually create. I mean, maybe what he's implying is that all of the humanity's antimatter that develops at the end of the universe, when humanity dies, is going to create the Big Bang again. Number 27. If Chris Cantelmo isn't the second coming, is anyone capable of so being?
Huh.
And again, mind you, we're going through a list of discoveries, and this is the discovery: is that within him, this sort of narcissistic realization. If I'm not the
might not be
second.
me. Then what?
If I'm not the second coming, then who the fuck is?
Then what the fuck are we gonna fuck? Then what are we even fucking doing here?
It isn't the guy behind the big boulder with the holes in his hands. I'm going to have to brace yourself for the final discovery that Chris Cantelmo has made.
Oh, yeah, the last one's serious?
The last one is probably the most dead serious of them all. I've never been more awestruck by
the final truth.
The
final revelation here.
So, the discovery number 28 is Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead rule: play Dark Star. That's the final discovery that Chris Cantelmo has left us with.
That's not what I was expecting for sure.
After everything we've discussed,
to be the final discovery.
This is the final discovery: is that Grateful Dead rules, man.
Well, okay, and it makes sense. I can dig it.
Although I will say that on the bottom there is a very stern note. There are two sets of notes. Note number 1, and mind you, this is creepy because he calls everybody children. Children, do not try this at home. You are children, still under
DMT? Do not try DMT at home?
Yes, apparently.
Wow, okay.
You are children, still under the influence of God, and you need not overdo things, as is the want of children, I know. The fuck does that mean? Are you like bro, you're not gonna get it, bro, so don't even try.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Just listen.
You're not gonna understand it the way I understand. Like the special glasses to look at the golden tablets and read the word of God.
Right, like the special underwear.
No one else is gonna get it. These are my special magic glasses for me.
These are my special undies for me.
No one else is. Yeah, no one else has the special undies, so get out of here.
Note number 2. Those adults currently in touch with God, this does not apply to you either. What the fuck? Okay. Those adults
Who does not apply to?
Okay. Those adults currently in touch with God, this does not apply to you either. So, you are correct.
Now, does he mean God or the bad God of mankind's religion? Or his God that's DMT in space? He seems to use that word to mean both things when it suits him.
You are correct in saying that being in touch with God does not require quote-unquote drugs. But DMT is not a drug, as it is made naturally by humans inside humans. The following applies only to humans who refuse the existence of God. Huh.
I love it when drugs is God.
Drugs.
I know that's exactly what he's not saying, but I love it when God is drugs. Yeah.
I mean, of course, we thought that was weird. Of course, do not condone the use of or doing illegal activities. Of course not. We also of any type.
Yeah.
Yes. No. We do not condone that whatsoever. We also do not condone that you go buy yourself an eighth of penis envy and go wander through a forest and make friends with a squirrel. But yeah. So at the end of the day, this dude is absolutely bonkers, and um, quite frankly, I'm in the belief that he tripped so hard that he had to have like tripped so hard and just like decided to slit his own throat. Where it was like this like, although like what's really interesting is that like he never really discussed like the concept of like to get the DMT to reach God, or maybe that's what he was trying to do. Is that he was trying to like get himself like
The final DMT release.
he's like life edging, if you will. If you're familiar with
Life
that term.
edging.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So
again, nobody even listened to anything we're saying.
Hashtag new sentence.
Life edging. Jesus.
Life edging.
That's if you want to get really high.
You really want to feel that good sun.
I mean, are we talking? We're basically describing autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yes.
Stare at the sun.
Yes, while staring at the sun, so you get optimum DMT.
Yeah.
So you're all the way there with God. Goodness gracious. By the way, I'm not condoning that. Don't.
Yeah.
Not at all. There's no.
Don't do any of that shit. Don't even
this
listen
this is a condemnation of this nonsense.
Don't even listen to this episode.
Well, no, listen to this episode. Just don't listen to this episode.
I'm baked as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore. And I'm gonna go get more baked and figure out what I'm gonna eat.
But anyways, gang. So I think that's gonna be it for today. Like yeah, thanks y'all for hanging out, and
thank you.
Yeah, no
thank you everybody,
well,
and
yes,
thank you Thresh.
Absolutely, and make sure to go follow Kuya, subscribe on Kuya DK on Twitch, and also on YouTube. Don't forget YouTube.
KuyaDK.tv.
Yes, KuyaDK.tv is
that's the main one. That's got everything.
Indeed, and also don't forget your soap company if you want to plug that too.
Yeah, all of the socials and links for Lake House Soaps can be found at KoyaDK.tv. Links to our Patreon and Etsy, where you can get really very nice soap that my lovely mother and I cook in her kitchen.
All right, gang, and again, I'm Thrash Cashew. I'm on YouTube and Twitch. Come check me out, and yeah, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to follow, and you can't do subscriptions yet, but yeah, don't forget to follow, and yeah, we'll catch y'all again
next Tuesday.
And subscribe on YouTube. Catch y'all next time. Take care.